Hi everyone, I'm really glad you're here with me today. I'm making a goat milk and beer soap using a Texas beer called Shiner Bock. It's a delicious beer if you like beer. If you don't like beer, it probably doesn't taste that good. Whenever using beer and soap, you must always make sure it's flat, meaning leave it left out overnight, or you can heat it on the stove. But you want to have it flat. I then froze it, and I'm using it at about 70% beer and 30% goat milk. So this is going to be a really luscious, bubbly, wonderful soap. And I love using it as a shampoo bar. But it's just a terrific bar of soap, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. One of the things that I just have to say to you all right now is that I am overwhelmed at the kindness that many of you have shown from my last very talkative video that I did. And I'm sorry that it was, didn't mean for it to have a depressive tone. I did want to talk about hair and some of the challenges that I've gone through in life. But my challenges are in no way a comparison to other people who have really suffered as a result of hair or hairstyles, like African Americans or certain other cultures. It was my very own. But something else I didn't discuss is I did mention that I'm adopted, but I didn't discuss my own culture. When I say culture in this regard, I'm talking to my DNA and what I discovered my DNA. So my unique, crazy hair, which I know some of the pictures that I showed may not show the extremity of how bushy my hair got. Most of those are when it was short. But anyway, after a lot of research, what I discovered about my own, what I found in my own genealogy, is that I'm about 50% Jewish, European Jewish, from the area that's actually being taken over by the Russians now, Ukraine, in that whole area. Lithuania is more specifically where some of my relatives were from that came over during World War II. Where am I going with this? Well, the rest of my DNA, that's just half. The rest of my DNA is about 17% First Nation here in the United States from the Colorado area, and then another, I may get my percentages off here, but about 16% from Spain. So it's that combination of First Nation people here in the United States, Spanish, and my European Jewish DNA that gives me this mess of a head of hair that I have. And I'm not complaining. I certainly did not mean to sound like I was complaining about what I have. I'm grateful that I'm alive, and I'm grateful that I'm healthy. And I hope the same is true for you and your family and your friends. That's important. Because good health is truly a privilege in this country. Well, probably all over the planet, right? It's generally a privilege of those that can afford medical care, or those that have really good genealogy that just so happen they lucked out in the, with having healthy genes, not having, a lot of hereditary illnesses and things like that. So a lot of different things can be a result of that. I'm just going to bring the lens down a little bit here so you can see. And boy, are they producing right now, because I've had 9 births over the last 6 weeks. Yes, baby goats everywhere. And I love them. I just do. And so the goats produce a lot of milk, and they produce a lot more than their babies need. As a matter of fact, what you may not know is that most goats have twins. But when you're dealing with smaller varieties, such as dwarf Nigerians or pygmies, due to their size, oftentimes they may only have one. But they still make the milk. And so I take that extra from them. They appreciate it. I will tell you, they very much appreciate being milked. So don't think of it as me taking from them against their will. They actually line up when I go out to be milked. Okay, well, I've talked enough about that, but anyway, the discussion that I had, you folks left such lovely comments. You truly did, and made me feel just terrific. And so I wanted to respond to you here in this video and just let you know that all of your kind words did not go unnoticed. I haven't had time because I'm working on videos right now, and I'm working on my 9-to-5 job, and the farm is very busy right now. It's winter here, and it's very cold and very wet, and I have to be very vigilant with my animals, like the puppies that I told you about. Their mother is a good mother, but she's starting to leave them, and with it this cold, they can freeze. I have to be very vigilant and check on them often, make sure that she's with them. Matter of fact, if she keeps getting up and going out and leaving them for long periods of time during this really cold weather, it is supposed to warm up soon, I'm going to have to move her to a pen where she can't leave them until they are ready to be left. Right. So in this soap, I'm going to be adding 3 essential oils. It's going to be about half lavender, and then a quarter peppermint, and a quarter Litsea cupiva, which is just such a tremendous essential oil blend. I love it, and I really think that you will too. One of the great things about bar soap is for our human skin, we make sure that soap has just a certain pH that is friendly to our skin, but unfriendly to bacteria and mold growth. So that's why in soap, oftentimes, when you use food, you don't get mold, except sometimes people will leave like an orange slice or a leaf of some type stuck inside the top of a soap. When that gets wet, because it's not in the soap, it doesn't have the benefit of the high pH within the soap. That can get mold and mildew on it if it doesn't get dried. So you want to be very careful about that sort of thing. But within the soap, the high pH of the actual oils that solidify into the soap, that's not a concern. So I am going to be adding some color. I have some spinach and kale leaf here that I'm going to be using to color part of this soap. And then the base will just be natural with a little bit of titanium dioxide, just to add a little more of a whitening to it. So let's go ahead and get our lye mixture added to our oils here. That's pretty full, isn't it? All right. Just scrape all that out. All right. All right, let's get the stick on this. So I'm going to mix the color here and our and this that I poured on the side. So here I'm just going to do a bit of an in-pot swirl. Or I said in pot swirl, I meant in the mold swirl. Alrighty, here we go. Try not to make such a mess this time. Much better. Right, let's see what they look like inside. I like the outside, but let's see what we got here. Oh, isn't that pretty? What do you think? What do you think? They smell so good. And I'm just going to keep saying that because they do. You know, I think I see a face, but I'm not sure. All right, I'll just put it right there for now. That combination of the spinach and the kale, I think, just creates such a great natural color. Now, I will say this about using botanicals like, well, in this case, spinach and kale, is that they do fade in time, but I don't know. I think the combination is just lovely. I like that there's nothing artificial in them. They smell good, and I think they look pretty great. So talk to me a bit. Oop, hang on, I need to tighten this just a tad. We've got a little bit of loosening happening. Right, there we go. Tell me in the comments, please, if you would, I'm going to put the video of some of the puppies up here, and I would love to hear from some of you about what you think the father may be, because I don't know, and the previous owners are not being helpful with giving me any kind of info about what they think, who the father could have been, and if they don't know, who does, right? And but I'd be curious. They're awfully small. They're just babies, so it's going to be hard for you to tell. Their eyes aren't even open yet, so it's going to be kind of hard for you to tell anything. But maybe you can take a look at them and just give me your impression of what you think. I'm always interested in, you know, different ideas and concepts, because I'm not real clear on what it could be. I mean, I really know nothing. The father is obviously a larger dog because it had to be to breed with her. She's a big dog. It wasn't a Chihuahua. And since these people, I even asked, very nicely, do you know of any neighborhood dogs that perhaps, might have done this? No dogs have been here. And I'm kind of smart alecky when I feel people are not being honest with me. And I said, so it's an immaculate conception, and they hung up on me. And I know I probably shouldn't have said that, but I feel that they're just not being very nice about this, Be honest. It's okay. It's done now. I'm not mad about it now. I'm not. I wish they'd been honest. But maybe part of it is they're embarrassed because they did lie, and I don't know. Or is it possible? Is it possible that they didn't realize? Yes, that's a possibility. I like this one too. I just like them all, but some great colors here. It's possible that they did not know, but a dog could have slipped in, bred with her, and they didn't know that it happened. That is possible. I can admit that's a possibility. But I would think that if they've had this dog for a period of time, she's had several heats before, so I would think they'd be aware. But that's me trying to use logic, where maybe it doesn't belong in a world of chance. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these cut. I really appreciate you all coming along for this. These were fun. I had not done anything creative in a while. How creative is it pouring one color into another color? Not that creative, but usually my soaps, I used to make more swirly kind of soaps. Then I'd got away from it for a while. Out of not laziness, but I was just tired, just wanted to make the soaps that needed to be made, but I wasn't putting any design into them. They were just, what they were. Goat milk or buttermilk or whatever the case may be. I wasn't putting much effort. Isn't that a pretty swirl? Do you see that? Some of them I think are just so charming. So I'm going to get back into what I love to do. And I had got away from doing, because I do like, I cut that one. That's going to be a weird cut, I can tell already. Yep, it didn't cut all the way through. So, put it back. See if I can get it this time. There we go. That worked. Okay. Took one little bite out of it there, but there, I think it'll be fine. Okay. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts on the puppies, and I'll get more video in the days and weeks ahead. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I'm really looking forward to them being up and playing. And as much as I'm not going to keep them, I can't keep 10 puppies. I just can't have 10 dogs around here. But I'm really looking forward to playing with them. I love babies. And anyway, thank you all so very much. It was great having you here today. I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.